A $60 bag of premium lawn food and a $2 scoop of plain nitrogen will turn your grass the exact same shade of deep green. One of them has a coating and a logo on the front. Your lawn cannot read the logo. It has no idea what brand fed it. It responds to one single element, and that element costs almost nothing when you buy it under the name farmers use instead of the name printed on a garden center bag. Today you get the exact powder, the exact application rate, the one step that decides whether it greens your lawn or scorches it brown in an afternoon, and the most popular homemade lawn trick on the internet that does absolutely nothing for your grass, with the actual chemistry behind why. Every fertilizer bag prints 3 numbers on the front: nitrogen, phosphorus, and potassium. Phosphorus feeds roots and seed development. Potassium handles stress tolerance and disease resistance. But the deep green color, the thickness, the lush look you are actually paying for when you buy a premium lawn product that comes almost entirely from nitrogen. A lawn that looks pale or hungry is a lawn that is short on nitrogen. Feed the nitrogen and the green comes back. That part of the science is not complicated, and it is the part the marketing on premium bags quietly agrees with, because they are built around delivering that exact same element. So the only real question worth asking is what the cheapest, reliable way to put nitrogen on the ground actually is, and the answer has been sitting in farm supply stores the entire time: ammonium sulfate. The bag reads 21 some Erdo, meaning 21% nitrogen, with an additional 24% sulfur riding, along as a secondary nutrient. A 50-pound bag runs around $26 at a farm or feed store, and that single bag covers 10,000 square feet at the standard feeding rate. Work out the math on an average suburban lawn, and you are spending roughly $2 to feed 1,000 square feet of grass. The identical patch fed with a premium branded bag costs $15, $20, sometimes considerably more. The nitrogen is chemically identical. The green result is chemically identical. Your grass has no way to tell the difference because there is no difference at the level that matters to a grass blade. So what is the extra money on a premium bag actually buying you? It is a fair question, and the honest answer is not a scam. It is a coating. Premium bags typically use slow-release nitrogen, where each granule is wrapped in a polymer or sulfur shell that dissolves gradually, spreading the feeding out over 6 to 8 weeks, instead of releasing it all at once. That is a genuine convenience. It means you can apply it carelessly and still avoid burning your lawn. What you are paying that premium for is forgiveness, the freedom to not pay close attention to the application. Ammonium sulfate is the opposite. It is quick release, raw, and fast. It greens hard within days, and it asks exactly one thing of you in exchange for the savings. You follow a single rule. Skip that rule and the cheap bag will punish you for it. Follow it and you have fed your lawn for $2 and kept the rest of your money. Before we get to that rule, let us deal directly with the myth you have almost certainly already encountered if you have searched this topic before. Epsom salt. Homemade lawn advice online consistently recommends dissolving Epsom salt in a sprayer and soaking your lawn for a deeper green. Epsom salt is magnesium sulfate, and here is the chemistry that recipe consistently leaves out. Magnesium only greens a lawn that is actually deficient in magnesium, and the overwhelming majority of lawns are not. Multiple university extension programs, including Oregon State, North Dakota State, Iowa State, and the University of Minnesota, have independently examined this exact claim and reached the same conclusion. If your soil already has adequate magnesium, which nearly all garden and lawn soils do, adding more accomplishes nothing for color. Worse, magnesium and calcium actively compete for uptake in soil chemistry, so piling on excess magnesium can actually interfere with calcium your grass needs for healthy growth. The Epsom salt trick feels scientific because it involves dissolving a powder in a sprayer and applying it with intention. It just happens to be treating a deficiency your lawn almost certainly does not have. Save it for sore feet after a long day in the yard. It was never going to green your grass. Now, the rule that makes the $2 powder actually work. Water it in immediately. Ammonium sulfate carries what is called a high salt index, rated 69 on that scale, which is high enough that if you spread it on a dry lawn and simply walk away, the granules will pull moisture directly out of the surrounding grass blades and leave you with visible browns burn streaks within a day. That single failure is the entire reason people fear cheap nitrogen and assume the premium bag is somehow different or safer. It is not different. It is just forgiving of a mistake this powder does not forgive. The fix is straightforward. Spread the ammonium sulfate, then water it in deeply within the hour. A thorough soaking is enough to carry the granules down off the grass blades and into the soil, where the root system can actually take up the nitrogen. Do that correctly and there is no burn risk, only the green result. Skip it on a hot, dry afternoon, and you will find out exactly why the premium bag sells forgiveness as its main feature. If you are finding value in tricks like this one, things that actually work without the markup, subscribe to this channel right now and hit the bell. Every week we bring back practical knowledge that saves real money without cutting a single corner on results. Subscribe before the next one goes up. The application rate is half a pound per 100 square feet, which works out to about 5 pounds across a full 1,000 square feet. Spread it as evenly as you reasonably can. A basic handheld spreader is more than adequate, because ammonium sulfate greens so fast and so visibly that any uneven pass will show up as a distinct darker stripe about a week later. Water it in immediately after spreading. Even a light watering helps. That is the entire method. Apply once in early summer and again in late summer, and your lawn will show the same result as if it had been fed from a $60 bag the entire season. Here's the detail that turns this from a simple cost-saving trick into something genuinely better than the premium product. That sulfur riding along in the bag, the 24% nobody talks about, is quietly doing a second job for free. Sulfur gradually lowers soil pH over time. Most struggling lawns, particularly in hard water regions, sit slightly too alkaline. In alkaline soil, grass physically cannot absorb the iron that drives the deepest, richest color, no matter how much nitrogen you feed it. The sulfur in ammonium sulfate nudges that pH back down over the course of a season, which unlocks iron that was already present in your soil the entire time. So the $2 powder is not just matching the premium bag. Over a couple of seasons, it is correcting a soil chemistry problem that premium bags typically charge extra to address with separately added iron supplements. You are getting the nitrogen, the fast green, and a slow, ongoing soil correction from the same application. One more addition worth knowing, because it pairs naturally with this method and costs next to nothing. If you want to push the color and the long-term soil health even further, mix in a cup of plain black strap molasses with the water you are using to soak in the ammonium sulfate. This is not for the grass directly, it is for what lives underneath it. The sugar in molasses is essentially pure carbon, and carbon is food for the soil bacteria, responsible for breaking nitrogen down into the exact form plant roots can absorb. A well-fed population of soil microbes cycles your nitrogen faster and holds it in the root zone, rather than letting a portion wash away in the next heavy rain. The honest catch is that this only works if the microbial population is already established in your soil, which in most existing previously planted lawns it is. Molasses will not replace the nitrogen itself. It simply makes the nitrogen you already applied go further and last longer. A single jug of plain blackstrap molasses costs a few dollars and lasts an entire season of feedings. Put the whole system together and here is what you have. Ammonium sulfate for the nitrogen and the fast deep green. Watered in immediately and thoroughly so it feeds instead of burning. Sulfur quietly correcting your soil pH in the background the entire time. A splash of molasses feeding the soil biology that in turn feeds your grass more efficiently. The deepest, greenest lawn on the street, fed for roughly the price of a cup of coffee, while the $60 bag sits on a shelf asking 30 times more money for a slow-release coating most attentive homeowners genuinely do not need. $2, one watering rule, and a lawn that looks exactly like it costs $60. Share this with the one neighbor who is still hauling home the heavy bag every spring. The next video is already up. Go watch it now.